What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network's Layeth the Squad Down. I am your host, Kevin. Joining me, as always, is Senior Steve.
Yarp.
Guys, check it out. Make sure you check out Skullectomy.
Skullectomy!
Yeah, Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios. That is the sponsor of the Mod Squad Network this month for the second month in a row. Also, check out our Facebook page to order a shirt. These are the 6 original shirts, and we have a limited edition Pride shirt. It is Pride Month. Show your pride with the Mod Squad. Make sure you get your shirt today.
You thought you were wearing your Pride shirt. You almost held it up like you were wearing it. Then you're like, oh no, that's Superman. Yesterday was the Pride
Well,
one.
it's a shirt, so get your shirt.
Sure. It's a shirt. That's right. We wear them, folks.
Yep, we wear them. Thank goodness.
That's right. Doctor says I need a skullectomy.
Dude,
along with my backiotomy.
Those are really good skulls. She does them by hand, so that's pretty cool. All right, guys, we had a pretty decent weekend wrestling, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Raw. We have a new champion, guys. Seth Rollins opened up the show. I'm rolling right past it. Raw opened with Seth Rollins. He came out through the crowd like the old Shield days.
Monday Night Rollins, baby.
That's right. And the Judgment Day came out to brag about their accomplishments. That was it. There was no fighting, nothing else. Just a little back and forth. It was kind of, in my opinion, not a good way to start the show.
No, not really.
But then we had Miz versus Ricochet for the Money in the Bank qualifying.
That's right.
And Ricochet wins. They are jobbing the Miz out big time now.
Yeah, but no, let's take a second to really talk about how great the Miz is in the ring. Folks, if you have not taken the time to watch this match yet, go watch this match. Miz pulling out a hurricanrana. Miz pulling off a top board, a top rope crossbody. Mm-hmm. Like, Miz pulling out moves that I have not seen this man do in years, if ever.
Yeah, he's improved in the ring so much. And I mean, let's face it, he's 40-something. So doing some of those moves at his age with the skill set that he began with, it's pretty impressive.
He's improved his game. But I think it's very interesting to see what they're going to do with Money in the Bank. The past couple of years have been kind of with what they have. Concept in its own right is great. I don't think we're ever going to top, funny enough, Miz. I don't think we're ever going to top Miz cashing in on Orton. I remember being home. My mother-in-law and my girlfriend, now wife at the time, had gone to see, I believe, Peter Pan at the San Diego Civic, and I was home alone watching TV. And Orton being champion, defending, and it was on Monday Night Raw. That's the thing. Not a pay-per-view, not a major show, just Monday Night Raw. And him coming down, cashing in, and I'm freaking. I'm going, what is happening? What is happening? We're literally yelling, what is happening? I'm freaking out. My dogs are freaking out, running around me because I'm being so loud. Like, the energy just transferring from the television to me as a person. Being a Miz fan in that own right, I don't think we're ever going to top that with Money in the Bank. So as we come to another Money in the Bank, it's going to be interesting to see who wins and how they handle it, because it's been real lackluster for me the past couple.
That was a good one. One of my favorite cash-ins, since we're talking favorite cash-ins, was actually Dolph Ziggler. When he cashed in, when he cashed in his, I remember that pop when his music hit was one of the loudest pops I think I've ever heard past Attitude Era. It was so loud. I was excited for it. So I was glad that he cashed his in when he did. All right, back to Raw. Trish Stratus came out to give another promo about beating Becky Lynch at Night of Champions. She brought out Zoe Stark. Yep. Then Lynch came out and challenged Stratus to a fight. She took out Stark and was starting to beat down Trish, and then Stark recovered, came in for the save, and then we went to a commercial break. Went to commercial break, and when we came back, we had Jinder Mahal bringing out Veer and Sangha for the a tag team match against two nobodies, and of course, Indus Sheer wins.
You're never gonna top the Bollywood Boys for me. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
All right.
You can have two big, strong Indian gentlemen, but when you have Jinder with two stooges like the Bollywood Boys, who are also super talented in the ring, that's the top of the Jinder for me. I don't Veer and Singh or whatever. I'm neither here nor there about it.
So next we had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were out to talk about beating Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa at Night of Champions. They were then interrupted by Imperium, and after some jokes, Alpha Academy came out, and I love KO. He's like, dude, say that thing that you always say.
No, Owens is the best because Imperium comes out and Owen goes up. We didn't even mention their name. It's a code. There's a code. You're not supposed to. We say your name and then you come out. We didn't even say your name. You're coming out. I don't even know. This is a madhouse. What am I doing? I don't know. Oh my god. We didn't even say your name. What are they doing, Sammy? What are they doing? We didn't even say their name. They're coming on it. It's so good.
I love KO. I love KO.
It's so good.
Yeah, but he goes, say that thing.
And then he calls Alpha Academy the wrong name. He called them like their original name.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Yeah, he calls them like I forget, but he goes, keep
going. Thank you.
Thank you.
But then we end up with an Alpha Academy versus Imperium match, and Imperium picks up the win.
Of course, Imperium picks up the win.
We get a women's tag title fatal 4-way match
for the women's tag team titles.
Yes, and it was it was a really good match. I kind of enjoyed the match, but I did not enjoy the finish because Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey picking up the titles.
Queen of Spades, baby.
Yeah, I'm all for Shayna Baszler getting a push, but I'm not.
It's that Ronda that you're not happy.
I am not happy about Ronda at all.
Ronda's a nice person. Leave Ronda alone.
JD McDonough versus Dolph Ziggler.
Is this a straight up match? Oh, this was a straight up match because this was a double DQ.
Yeah, double DQ, double count out. It was. They're pushing.
I love they brought McDonough to Raw. I loved this guy on NXT UK. I loved this guy on NXT.
I do, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Dolph Ziggler fan, and I did not like. I don't like that he basically just destroyed Ziggler. Ziggler had almost zero offense in this thing.
Yeah, because Ziggler's like 30-something, and JD McDonough's like 20-something, and he's a fresh, young, and up and comer, and he's headstrong and cocksure.
Yes. Well, next we got Cody Rhodes coming out with his arm in a sling to talk about losing to Brock Lesnar. He said he didn't tap out because that's not the man he wants to be.
I'm not gonna lie. I skipped this whole Cody promo. I was really happy when Cody first came back, and he was cutting some good, strong promos.
Now it's almost saying redundant.
I have no interest in him feuding with Brock.
And there's going to be another match. You know there's going to be another
Of course, there's
got to have a rubber match.
Like 2 or 3 more matches. Like, get out of here.
Well, you got to have a rubber match at least.
Well, Brock has, what, 3 wins on Cody?
No.
2 wins on Cody?
No. I mean, since Cody's been back, it's been 1-1. It's 1-1. The next match was a men's Money in the Bank qualifying bout between Shinsuke Nakamura and Bronson Reed.
I'm so upset. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Shinsuke Nakamura, but right now I am a little bit more of a Bronson Reed fan than I am a Shinsuke fan.
I'm not going. Yeah, you're right. But Shinsuke gets the win. Of course, I kind of see why they did this. Bronson Reed in a Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't know about with his size taking some of those falls that they do in those things.
I think that'd be perfect for that.
All right. Next we got the Judgment Day versus AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. with Styles and Rollins picking up the win, and that is your main event.
I was going to say that's the main event for the night.
That was your main event match of the night. If I had to grade Raw, I'd give it a B.
Sure.
Maybe a B. Yeah.
Solid B.
All right, next we're going to move on to SmackDown. SmackDown. We have a 6-man tag team match. The Brawling Brutes versus Austin Theory and Pretty Deadly.
Yas, boy!
With Theory and Pretty Deadly defeating the Brawling Brutes.
Yas, boy.
Then we have the OC versus Hero. And
I'm gonna say the one thing I do not like that the WWE is doing, whether it's intentional or unintentional, Swerve Strickland starts coming out with like a head mop, like a ski mask almost, on AEW, and then all of a sudden they have Hit Row coming out in full on ski masks. And they don't look good.
No, I don't like that look. But Anderson and Gallo defeat Hit Row because they are jobbing out Hit Row. The Grayson Waller effect with Asuka. Asuka may have defeated Bianca Belair at Night of Champions to capture the Raw Women's Championship, but two things were apparent following the event of the Grayson Waller effect: that the feud is not over. Io Sky, Bayley, Shotzi, Lacey Evans, and Zelina Vega all interrupted this interview.
Lacey Evans looks like a horrible wish list Sergeant Slaughter cosplay.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree.
She looks so horrible. I don't know what's with the stupid cobra wrapping around her hat.
I don't like. Well, Cobra, get it? Cobra, G.I. Joe.
I get it. Lacey, do me a solid. Take 2 weeks off and then retire.
Yes. I mean, I honestly thought she was gone for the longest time until
she had a baby. She got pregnant. She had a baby. And then she came back and she went to high five a kid with Down syndrome and then went,
yeah, I saw that.
We talked about it. It's okay. Keep going.
Next, we have a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Zelina Vega versus Lacey Evans, with Vega defeating Evans, as you should. I'm really enjoying the push that they're giving to Vega. I actually hope she wins Money in the Bank.
I really love the promo. I really love the promo because everyone's cutting promos and then Zelina comes out and she's like, "Go ahead, underestimate me. I'm short. Like, I'm gonna beat you." Like, just her whole promo is just so great.
Well, I love it. We have another Money in the Bank qualifier: Montez Ford versus L.A. Knight. Yeah. Let me talk to you. With Knight defeating Ford, this was a pretty good match, actually. I really enjoyed this match. Then we have Roman Reigns celebrates 1,000 days as champion, and this was the segment of the week, in my opinion. Because as the
such a good segment.
It really was. It appears as though the Bloodline story will conclude the way it started, with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso at odds. Reigns worked with Solo Sikoa to defeat Jey and brother Uso, suckering them into a false sense of security before the Enforcer flattened the Brazen and bold Jimmy with the Samoan Spike. It was really cool. I like how Jimmy and Jey came out there because they were supposedly not invited to the celebration whatsoever. They come out and they get in the ring, and Jimmy's like, hey, we're family. This isn't what family do. Well, they had a little argument before that about who's the, he didn't do it because he's the tribal chief and stuff like that. But then Jey was like, "Hey, what are you doing? We're family." And Jimmy's like, "You're right. We're family. We should join together again. We run this. We're still the ones.
We're strong. We're stronger together than we are."
Yeah, divided. And he's like, "So let's do this, right?" And they embrace in a hug. And as they're hugging, Roman goes, "No." He steps back, gives a look to Solo, and Solo just spikes the shiz out of Jimmy. And now we're kind of in limbo on where Jey stands, because
Oh, Jay is gonna be with Jimmy.
we
Like,
know.
let's be real about it. When it comes down to it, they
Yeah,
twins.
yeah.
I liked where they were going. I don't like where they're going. The whole bit with Solo, it was a good swerve. It really threw me off.
Yeah,
Pardon me.
because
So,
he's like, I was protecting
well,
my brother. He's my brother. I'm going to protect him. He's my brother too. You were my
you're not my. He's like, no. That's the thing is Solo. Solo is like, those are my
yeah,
brothers. You're not my
and
brother.
he went and stood
And it's
by
like the first time Solo's ever really fucking talked.
yeah, and he went and stood by the Usos
Yeah,
until
because
the
I mean,
embrace.
in
Yeah.
reality, those are his older brothers.
Yes.
Like by blood, they are blood related. Like they're brothers. So yeah,
Right. And they pointed at Roman like you could be our brother too. And like that's when hugged and said no. And then the spike, and I was like, oh, because I honestly thought that they were going to join back together with still a little
yeah,
bit of friction. And they're like, no, we're having a break right now. This is a clean. We're breaking this off. So I'm really enjoying what's going now. I just hope that they keep Sami Zayn and KO away from this whole situation for a while.
sure.
Let this be a
Give them a break because we have Zayn and Owens technically feuding with
Yeah,
Imperium right
let
now.
this
So
be a family issue that we're all. I mean, every family has this type of issue. You know, they have brothers and sisters that they are, some sort of family member that they don't get along with. So we can relate to that. So let's actually see this unfold as family. So that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, that is WWE. What do we have for AE Dubs?
well, for AEW, we had Dynamite and Rampage taking place in San Diego, about an hour south of me. I didn't go. I just enjoyed it from home. Very loud crowd down at the Viejas Arena in San Diego. We opened up the show with the Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, the Blackpool Combat Club, as they took on the ROH World Tag Team Champions of the Lucha Brothers, teaming up with Bandito. Great back and forth. All three guys, very technical, very fun, very
Can
entertaining.
I
When it's
Can I ask
Yeah,
you
what's
what
up?
the hell was Bandito wearing though? He looked it
Okay, so I will tell you this right now. You are in San Diego, California, which is right on the border of Tijuana, Mexico,
mhm.
and there is a very lovable character in Tijuana that transfers over here to California, all throughout the world, and that is the character that he was dressed as. You can look it up. I wish I knew the character. I got a pop from it.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know who it was, but I know who. But you know what I mean. I got the
You got the
reference.
reference. I did not,
It was
but I
purely
get
it
it.
was purely a reference from Mexico.
Okay.
It is purely a character from south of the border. But it was great. It's really funny the camera angles that they have because my buddy was at the show when Bandito had Yuta up for 60
Yeah.
seconds.
Oh,
When
and
he
you.
brought him down, he landed on Claudio's head,
Oh.
which could be legitimately like a life ending, like a career ending
Yeah.
thing if it hits wrong. So it's very interesting the things that happen within the match itself. When it's all said and done, Wheeler Yuta ends up getting Bandito in a seatbelt lock for the pin, and the
Mhm.
Blackpool Combat Club wins. They go backstage to where the Elite is having a little bit. Where they're having words about what happened. They basically say that the Blackpool Combat Club bring out the absolute worst in us. Hangman said a few weeks ago we're the heart and soul of this place. For the BCC, it's just a numbers game. We then go to Tony Schiavone interviewing Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson, and Jay White, talking about Ricky Starks. They're talking about FTR. FTR comes down to the ring, and they kind of get into a little scuffle there when Juice cracks Dax with a cheap shot. Of
Mhm.
course, his left hand was loaded with a roll of quarters. Jay nailed Cash with the Blade Runner. Ricky Starks ran down, chased off Jay and Juice. Ricky challenges Jay to a match on Dynamite next week. So next week we'll get Ricky Starks versus Switchblade, Jay White. I think it's very interesting. Jay White, Juice Robinson, Aussie Open, all New Japan Pro guys that their contracts expired and now they are all elite. It's very interesting to see who else might come over from New Japan with certain contracts expiring. Right. Tony Khan makes the announcement that at the debut of the new AEW Collision in Chicago, Illinois, as I called it last week, CM Punk will be returning to AEW. So we have a 3-way match of Swerve Strickland versus Big Bill versus Trent Beretta. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not a big fan of triple threats. I like Swerve. I like Trent. I'm not a big fan of Big Bill. I wasn't a fan of him in WWE. I wasn't a fan of him in TNA.
But he's big. He's really big, and you can't teach that.
You can't teach that. It all ended with Big Bill doing a chokeslam on Trent, but Swerve swoops on in and steals the pin on Best Friends, with Swerve picking up the win. I want to say next week we have Swerve Strickland versus Orange Cassidy for the International Champion. So it should be good.
It should be, and Orange will probably still retain.
I'm not gonna lie, on this one, I want Orange to retain. I like Swerve, but with the mogul business they're doing right now, it would work well. You have the Ring of Honor, the 6-man tag championships already there. So it wouldn't help having all the wrestlers essentially have gold on them.
True. Speaking of gold, and I'm sorry, I'm going to backtrack a minute. I forgot to mention this. They debuted a new belt on SmackDown, the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship belt.
Oh, yeah, which looks just like the 2 belts that he had, just a different color.
It's gold, yeah. So I forgot to mention that. Move on.
Oh, that was the funniest thing in the world for me, because Triple H is in the ring and presents it, and then the Usos music hits, and if you watch the ring, Hunter just goes, "Nah, I'm out of here," and he just takes right out the back door and just, "Bye, I'm
gone." You guys handle this.
So I had friends that were in the arena for Dynamite. Tony Schiavone gets in the ring to interview Konosuke Takeshita and Don Callis. Because I don't believe that we talked about the pay-per-view.
Oh, no, we did not.
Double or Nothing. But in the main event or Double of Double or Nothing, when the Blackpool Combat Club took on the Elite of AEW, the match was won when a masked figure came in and attacked Kenny Omega, and it was Konosuke Takeshita. Heel turn for Konosuke.
I like it because that dude can go. Like, I have seen him wrestle when he was here, and I was super impressed with his match. So yeah, he can go.
Super good. Yeah. So him and Don Callis come out. The heat was so loud. The crowd was so hot. My buddy had to go home to hear what Don Callis said on TV, because he could not hear him live because the crowd was so hot. It all comes down to Takeshita essentially saying, "We will destroy the Elite. We will destroy Kenny Omega." Callis ends it with saying, "Kenny, you destroyed my family, so I'm going to build a new one. And my new family is going to cut the Elite out of all Elite wrestling."
Okay.
We get a backstage interview real quick with Wardlow and Arn Anderson. Wardlow, he says, "I think Luchasaurus found out not to get involved in our business. You want to be next in line, Luchasaurus? I'll be more than happy to finish the job." That comes down because, once again, we didn't go over the pay-per-view. Christian took on Wardlow for the championship. Luchasaurus got involved. Arn Anderson got involved, actually, ended up biting someone's finger. It was really weird. We get Orange Cassidy and Derpy Allen taking on the Mogul Embassy's Gates of Agony of Khan and Toa Leona. When it's all said and done, Darby unfortunately hits Khan with the coffin drop, getting the pin, and they get in everyone gets in the ring surrounding Orange and Darby, and of course Sting comes out to make the save.
Right. It's the Icon Sting! Every time.
Every
Every
time.
freaking time. He's here!
We get the TBS Championship Open Challenge of Nyla Rose with Marina Shafir, even though Marina didn't actually come out with her. She came out with her to the ramp and then went backstage. Taking on Chris Statlander. I really like Chris Statlander. I think it's great that she comes on back. Once again, something we didn't talk about or Double or Nothing. Jade Cargill beats Taya Valkyrie, and then Chris Statlander comes out and beats Jade for the belt.
Yes.
So Jade Cargill's reign as TBS champion is over. Chris Statlander is great. I think it's really funny because Chris Statlander likes to sign stuff when she's coming out. Like she's very big on sign language. AEW knows this because she started this gimmick before she got injured a year ago, and they still continue to cut the camera on her whenever she is signing. She never gets a full sentence out signing something because they're always doing horrible camera cuts and just messing it all up. I think
they
it's
do
great
need to work on the camera work because
it
I know sign language. I know a little, not a lot.
obviously with that, Chris Statlander ends up picking up the win on Nyla Rose. Our main event is a mixed tag grudge match in which we get Chris Jericho and Saraya taking on Adam Cole and Britt Baker. It's a good back and forth one-on-one. When it's all said and done, Adam Cole dropped his knee and then delivered the knee strike, pinning Jericho. So we got Adam Cole and Britt Baker picking up the win. For this, if I were to give this a ranking, this would probably be a solid B as well. Lots of good matches delivered, and it was a lot of fun. Rampage is a super fast one. We have 4 matches. It starts off with a championship match of the AAA Mega Championship of Juralistico, Commander, and El Hijo de Vikingo, all going up against each other. It's a great luchador match, as always. Vikingo pulls out all of his moves that he has pulled out in every match. He hits the 650 splash from the middle rope, from the inside to the out, through the table. Lots of rope play. It's a lot of fun. Of course, Vikingo is going to pick up the win on that one. We actually have, I believe it's all championship matches on this. Because everyone wrestling has a championship match. They do a really back, and I'm going to touch on this real fast because I don't want to give more spotlight to this than I think that it actually deserves. Aubrey Edwards is a referee. A referee's job is to call the match. It's not to do stuff to get noticed. It's not supposed to be an overactor. It's not supposed to be purely to get attention. I know this because I was a referee. And when I did stupid shit like that, I got yelled at by the boys for doing the stupid shit that I was doing. If you want to be a manager, if you want to be involved, if you want to be a wrestler, make that transition.
The referee is supposed to be there to count the match and not to be seen.
Now basically. I understand, and everyone's like, "Oh, Earl Hebner back in the day had a match with Nick Patrick." That was referee versus referee. Yep. That was a storyline that built up to actually mean something. Earl Hebner never went out of his way to look like a jackass. Earl Hebner never went out of his way to get the spotlight on him. Earl Hebner never made stupid faces when people were getting punched in the ring. These are things that Aubrey Edwards does.
Yeah.
I cannot stand her as a referee. I love female referees. I think it's great that that's coming as a progression in the world.
I agree.
Don't like Aubrey. She's literally doing Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler makeup in the ring.
I think one of the best female referees that going around is Jessica Carr in WWE.
Yeah.
She is perfect. You don't really notice her. She controls the ring like she's supposed to.
Yeah.
But it's not one of those things to where you're looking at her instead of the action.
Sure. And and that's what Aubrey does, is Aubrey draws away from the attention of the actual show. Yeah. I would rather work with Rick Knox, and I'm not that big of a Rick Knox fan, than I would Aubrey Edwards. And they did a stupid backstage thing where literally Aubrey attacks Karen Jarrett. I want to say every match, though, is a championship match. We get a New Japan Pro Wrestling World TV Championship match as TMDK, the Mighty Don't Kneel, Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Action Andretti. It's a great back and forth. Of course, it's a championship match. Zack Sabre Jr. picking up the win. We get the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship as the newly crowned my girl Willow Nightingale taking on
Nice.
Emi Sakura. This is great. 2 weeks ago, New Japan had a pay-per-view in Long Beach. Sasha Banks, I don't even know what her new name is. Mercedes Moné, I guess.
Yeah.
In the finals against Willow Nightingale. I think Monet was supposed to win, but she unfortunately injured herself. Willow Nightingale is our champion, taking on Emi Sakura. Of course, getting the Doctor Bomb for the win. And then our main event, whoo! What a main event. Katsuyori Shibata taking on Lee Moriarty for the ROH Pure Championship match. This right here is my match of the week. I love Shibata, such a good pure champion. I love Moriarty, so talented and technical in the ring. ROH Pure Championship matches are always the best. 3 rope breaks allowed, and then it's nothing. No close fists, like disqualification. I love the Pure Championship. Of course, Shibata is going to pick up the win on that. Ends with Daniel Garcia coming out, so I think we are going to get Garcia versus Shibata for the Pure Championship. Woo!
All right, you mentioned your match of the week. I'm going to mention mine. It is the Blackpool Combat Club versus Bandito and
the Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers, yes. Zero Mero.
Yeah.
Yes, but that is my match of the week. That's it for the week, is it? Is it?
That's it for wrestling, brother.
Very cool, very cool. So, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
There it is, right there. That's the last podcast you'd want. That's my show. We talk about entertainment. We talk about movies, TV shows, all things pop culture. Tip the field. Try the staff. Thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
Awesome. Everybody, make sure you check out Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios on Facebook. Great skulls. She can do almost any skull you would like, custom to you. Make sure you check the Mod Squad Network out on Facebook, where you can order shirts. These are our 6 standard shirts, and this one right here is our limited edition shirt for Pride Month. Once it is gone, it is gone. Make sure you check out the horror show, you're watching a wrestling show, Movie Talk Mondays, the gamer show, and
live from the mod. It's Saturday night.
Yes, there will not be a wrestling show next week. We're going to take a week off. I will be in Dallas. I believe Steve has plans as well, so we will not be able to have a show next week. Sorry about that.
I'll be sleeping.
Well, that's a plan. that's a plan.
That is a plan.
That's a plan.
Plan on sleeping.
Let's see. Make sure you check out Back to the Retro Review. That is the sister channel of the Mod Squad Network, where I review movies from the 80s and 90s with this guy right here. All right, guys, I do believe that does it for this episode of the Mod Squad Network's Layeth the Squad Down. So for Steve, I am Kevin saying keep on wrestling, everybody.
Unspoken code.